Hi, everybody. This is Liberty, and I just had a couple of things that were on my mind. The other day when I was cooking and making dinner for my family, I happened to be following this recipe. Now, I'm not a cook, if you know. I don't cook all the time, but I happened to be cooking for the family. This was my day, and I was in there and I was looking at the recipe and I found all of the ingredients except for one before I started. And so I couldn't find the particular spice that I needed. So I had to go and I had to look up and trusted Google to find out what was the best alternative for the actual spice that I needed. And I found it and I found that I had one. And so then I started mixing everything together. And then, of course, turned around and looked, and guess what I find? I found the actual spice that I needed. Now, because I was following two different particular recipes, I already had the one spices and the one mixture that I needed for the beginning of the recipe. So I just put it all together and I started making what I wanted to make. And then I thought about it at that moment and I thought, well, that's like life. Sometimes we don't have all of the ingredients that we need, but if we can get out of the box and we can actually look and say, okay, this one may work and it may not work. And so we have to take that risk. We have to just be able to take the risk and say, okay, well, this didn't work, or this may or may not work. And I don't know if it will because I've never done it before. But if we go and we take that risk, then whatever we're doing may turn out right. It may turn out good. It may turn out horrible. But that's what risk is, right? It's getting us out of our comfort zone and getting there and saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just do this and trust for the best or hope for the best. Anyway, going back to the recipe and the meal that I cooked, I finished the half that I used. And then I went back and then there was another part of the recipe that I actually used the right spice that I needed. And then when I ended up putting it all together and all the ingredients were together, it was pretty good. And so it was well received, and there might have been one or two pieces left of what I had made, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that what I had made actually worked. And I think that that's something that we have to also look at is in life. When we take those risks, there are times when it just doesn't work, and there's times where that we may or may not have everything that we need, not all the recipes or not all of the spices that we need or not all of the ingredients that we need to have a good conversation with somebody or to have a best experience that we may be having at the time. Or I think that one of the things that I remember is that that they talk about how insanity is doing the same thing over and over with the same the expectation of it to change. And it's not going to change if you don't actually do something different. And so, going back to the recipe, everything was good. Everybody liked it. And so we have to remember that in life, that we have to just be okay with whether it's a good experience or not. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's a bad experience. But the thing that we have to do is we have to learn from it. And then it's just like, if you fall off a horse, just get back on. And so that's all that I was thinking about this week. So thanks for listening.